Al Tavin's at the burger shed, he ordered a number 3. Bacon double cheeseburger, curly fries you'll see. Tavin ramping up the holler, Tavin trying to make $1. Tavin, give him a holler, he'll mow your grass today.
Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast, y'all guys. I'm Tavin Dillard. You found my podcast very much like a radio show, and I'm glad we spend a little bit of time together on this beautiful Tuesday. Well, unless you listen to it on another day. I know, I ain't living under a rock, y'all guys. I know that the way that the podcast world works is an episode comes out on one day. But there are many other days that a person could be listening to said podcast. It could be years. It could be years in the future that you listen to this. You just found my podcast like a time capsule floating around the interwebs. But if you listen to this on the day it comes out, you know it's October 7th, and we full week into the month of October's. It's pumpkin season, harvest times, all that kind of thing. And you better believe my town's got it going on. Now, if you watch me on the interwebs, you know last week's I had a couple fall festival posts just about the nursing home brainstorm that's going on. They're getting ready for one. It ain't here yet, but that ain't what happened in town this week. We had another one I'm going to tell y'all about here in a little bit. No softball updates. I mean, you know the whole thing. Team Burger Shed, we was in the top 4 when it was all said and done, but we didn't make it to the final rounds or whatever. So that's fine. I mean, we got other things to talk about. Okay, time to get the haunches strong, stretching out in the winters. Can't be a doormat or dormant. Can't be dormant. Can't just be laying around all winters and hope you just magically gain the strength you need to be a exceptional, pro level softball player in an adult league in my town. You gotta be eating the right donuts. Of course, my goodness, next month, that turkey and dressing, that's basically back, leg, knee, joint strength. It's all wrapped up in that Thanksgiving dinner, but we ain't even close to there yet. I'm just thinking out loud right now. Did y'all know that I got my own lawn care services? I do. It's called Tavin's Lawn Care Services. I'm mowing, edging, grass cutting legend, and I'm glad you're here with me today. But I'll tell you one thing else. I got big stuff coming up. I can't wait to see y'all. Now, if you are listening to this on the 7th, today, October 7th, on the 19th, I'm going to be in Nashville. So what is that, like 12 days? Less than 2 weeks. So if you was planning on going to Nashville and you ain't got your ticket yet, get it. You'll find the link in the show notes today. And all the other ones are there too. But when you click that link, you'll see Nashville up top because it's basically in, what's it called? Order of what day is first, when the show's first was the second show. Because then you got early December. If you want to get somebody early Christmas presents, you in Southern California, come see me in Los Angeles. And then if you in Chicago, if you in Illinois, mid-December's early Christmas present, December 16th, I'll be there. So get them tickets now, and then right after the new year, Orlando, Dallas, Phoenix, and Houston. So them could be Christmas presents, and they open on Christmas, and they say, hey, in a couple of weeks, we're going to go see Tavin, like out of way. So just check the show notes. It'll say show tickets, and then you can click on that and get them. But I'm about up all the way to Nashville's here pretty soon. Can't wait to see y'all guys. Should be a great show. Jamie French is the opener. In Los Angeles, Dennis Hemphill. He's hilarious. He's a funny guy and a buddy of mine, and he's going to be opening the show out there in Southern California. So should be real good. And I got an opener I may announce soon for Dallas. So we'll see. But that's what's going on with me. I hope you're doing well. The other thing is, in the show notes today, my Venmo, if you want to give me a virtual tip on this podcast that has no sponsors or commercial interruptions. The reason how come is not because I hate commercial interruptions, is I don't have a sponsor. So, if y'all want to pitch in and just help keep this thing going, I'll appreciate it. My Venmo will be there. But either way, that's all you'll see in the show notes today. Show tickets, Venmo, and I'll put in my email address, tabandillard@gmail.com. I've been doing videos for businesses, like commercials. Different businesses, small businesses around the country say, hey, do a commercial we can use on our social medias or whatever. And I say, well, let me know. Yeah, I'll do it. You want to do it? Let's do it. So you can email me there for that kind of thing. And also, I've been shooting, them personal video greetings. So you can find that on my website. I already said it. I said I'm only going to put the show notes in the show notes today, the show tickets, and what was the second thing? Oh, the Venmo. So the link to my shirts and merch and all that, you just have to go to my website, tabandillard.com, to find all that stuff. Got some merch getting ready. Got tour shirts that are getting made up that can only be bought at the live shows, the Trailer Park Dreams Tour. So Nashville will be the first folks that have the opportunity to pick one of those up on October 19th coming up. So anyhow, show notes. That's all we're saying right now. But like I said, for me, there was no softball. There was some fall events going on around town. But before I get to that, I think I got, let me see, I did get some emails this week or text messages. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Jesse. Nope, that's the wrong name. Jeffrey. I can read. So Jeffrey's having his 12th birthday. His brother Jed said, hey, can you wish my brother Jeffrey a happy 12th birthday? So Jeffrey, I don't know if folks call you Jeff. I'm not going to call you Jeff because your brother said your name's Jeffrey. So I hope you have a happy birthday, buddy. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're doing somersaults or cartwheels, or you going on a zip line, or maybe you eating an ice cream cake. But have a happy birthday, Jeffrey. 100%. You got your brother looking out for you too. Good on you, Jed. So I appreciate you sending that in. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Yeah, somebody else mentioned. Sam texted and said his buddy David's thinking about opening a donut shop called Haunch Launch. What do you think? Man, I don't know, Sam. What do y'all think out there in listener land? Should he open up a donut shop called Haunch Launch? Of course, we know donuts do that to the haunches. They ain't no secret. All kindly benefits from that. But anyhow, thank y'all for reaching out this week and checking in with me and asking questions. No real town events when I'm talking today about this fall festivals. It's not an actual like the town put on, but I'm just saying this event happened. It's in my town. I'm not saying it's a sanctioned town event. Like what, Tavin? Well, how about hay rides? Okay, you know about them at Chet and Gracie Dilroy's. Who's Chet and Gracie Dilroy? Well, I think you know. But they grandbaby Candy Dilroy, I don't know how old she is, but old enough to catch adult crows pretty well. She caught feral cat or two. Gracie Dilroy will catch animals, and that's really par for the course in my town. Millie Ricks, how you 80, 90 years old and you outsmarting skunks and possums and everything else and catching them? I don't know, but Millie figured out a way. Well, Chet and Gracie Dilroy, they don't live in Chancellor Park. They live on the property that backs up to Rusty Tidwell's. Like last week, Rusty had a little go-kart thing going on out on his property. Well, Chet and Gracie got room, and they also, Gracie runs Early Bird Gets the Perm with her sister Delandra. And anyhow, they got mules. They got trails out there. You listen to my podcast for any amount of time, you know that folks have gone on the sunset mule rides. Myron Curtis, Mary Beth Tucker did. Oh boy, that sounds like it would have been quite the adventure, Tavin. Oh yeah, go listen to that one. I don't know when it was, a year or two ago, but you better believe that wasn't incident free. Not by a long shot. But anyhow, what it did, it just started as a little get-together, but they let folks invite other folks. It just growed. You know how it is where weather's cooling down and people, you settling back into the fall life. Everybody's back in town from their summer vacations to Myrtle Beach and Branson, Gatlinburg, and wherever, Gulf Shores. And now they just back in town, and it's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And, it's getting darker a little earlier, but folks got lights, and them little lights. They got little bonfires, all kinds of things. You just kind of hanging out, and you feel like it's cooling down. Life is slowing down a little bit, and one thing led to another, and this little, hey, we having this get together. Yeah, you can invite somebody. All of a sudden, all these people. So what ended up being just a little get together, all of a sudden there's pumpkin carving going on in Chet and Gracie Dilroy's front yard. And then hay rides all around their property, kind of like the mule rides, but not as long. The mule rides, they go. I mean, they go deep into the trails and all that kind of thing, and you ain't doing that on a hay ride, or at least they wasn't planning on it. Hay rides can't go all the places that a mule ride can go. Basically, mule, they can go all kind of places, real sure-footed. My buddy Clay Newcomb, he do the Bear Grease podcast. He got a lot to say about the old about the mules. And up in northeast, we have north central Arkansas. There's a fella that helped train, mules, Aiden Troyer, I think his name is. And anyhow, that don't have anything to do with what I'm saying, other than mules can go a long way. And unless a mule is pulling a hayride, the hayride ain't gonna go all the places a mule can go. Put it to you like that. So many kids was out there carving pumpkins with they folks. So just people heard, people found out. Candy Dilroy didn't make it. Of course, that's her grandparents' place. Her grandmammy and grandpappy is Chet and Gracie. Will Dilroy, that's Candy's little brother, he was there too. And then Jesse and Ronnie Keith Tucker, that's Russell Tucker's boys. They was out there. Russell was there too. Champ Tharp, his folks, they run Lady in the Trampoline. And Champ was out there. He heard about it. And then Maisley and Perry Lee Grubbs, that's Shane and Cheryl Grubbs' kiddos. Cheryl Grubbs and Shane, they own Donut Goals. And I don't know if you remember this, but baby Kevin, that's Millie Rick's other possum that ain't Possum Keith. Shane Grubbs is the one that found that out. He's a metal detective behind an old pawn shop. And sure enough, there's a baby possum. Apparently needed some help, he thought. And so that's baby Kevin. Ain't really a baby no more, but that's what she called him. But don't call him her pet, because she will deny that. So anyways, Maisley and Perry Lee are out there. Luke, Brian, Spencer, and a few of Delma's little ones. That's Delma Spencer's kiddos. They all cute kids. It's cute out there. And they carving best they can. I mean, there's nothing like seeing a bunch of children with sharp knives just stabbing into a vegetable. Is a pumpkin a vegetable? Gotta be, right? Anyhow, that's cute. None of them pumpkins was going to end up in no pumpkin museum. I can tell you that right now. Or probably winning any contest. Maybe against each other, since one of them going to have to win. But they weren't super pretty. Don't know if they even have pumpkin museums. And I don't think they was really having a pumpkin contest, truth be told. But anyhow, Chet, what he ended up using was a side-by-side to pull that hayride out there with them kiddos. So he's leaving his mules all stabled up or wherever he keep them. And so basically, if you can just see in your mind's eyes, their front yard is pretty big. It's off a gravel road. It's off the main road. I mean, it's outside of town. But the front yard, pretty big, but it's kind of split by the driveway. So there's a little bit of yard on either side of that driveway. And then the front yard, is where most of the yard is. And the kids was there. Chet had some hay bales out there. Gracie put some little tables up and chairs. So some kids sat on hay bales or stood on hay bales. And then the pumpkins was at the tables, and they steady carving like that away. And, they all around. Then we got Chet with a side-by-side, and what he's got a little trailer, that's got a few hay bales on it that he can pull for the hay ride. So you see all that now? That's where we are. Well, he started going. And I don't know about your neck of the woods. We hadn't had a lot of rain lately, but he had a muddy patch, and I don't know if it's from a rain or somebody's irrigation or whatever. But it only takes one muddy spot on a hayride to just get stuck, and that's what happened. The side-by-sides pulled a hayride. Side-by-side went through the mud, but the little trailer tires got stuck in it, and you can't haul a lot. Anyhow, Russell got off. And I don't know what he was doing on the hayride anyway. He big old full-grown man, but maybe he was just supervising. Anyhow, the kids stayed on there. There's about 5 kids on the hayride at a time. Delma's kids started throwing hay, which probably doesn't surprise you, but it still can really infuriate a grown man, that the kids would do that. It's like, just leave the hay alone. It's a hayride. Just sit on the hay, because if there ain't no hay left, it ain't a hayride. It's just a ride. You're just getting pulled on a little flatbed trailer. I mean, little flatbed trailer. So Chet got on to them kiddos because he was like, y'all need to knock it off. That ain't how you behave out here. You know, we trying to have a good time, celebrate fall, just enjoy. I mean, the only thing you got to do on a hayride is sit and look around. You ain't got to, you keep your hands to yourself. You ain't got to be throwing nothing. So Chet told them kids whatever. Should have got on to Delma. You know, she's the mama, but them kids should know better. Should. But here we are. So they went around, but, you know, sure enough, before you know it, it's getting dark, and he got some headlights on that side-by-side, but he got them kiddos back. Chet know his property well. Now, he know how to get over and through and around things, but got back to that yard, and in the back, Cheryl Grubbs there, they got all things in their back. They got an old trampoline, but they got a big property there. Don't matter no how. All I'm saying is Cheryl Grubbs had like hot cider for people once they got back from the hayride, and Gracie had her set up in the backyard because there's more seats for adults to sit in other than just hay bales and card tables where the pumpkins were. They left them pumpkins out front, and what they did, they put them what they call tea lights. I don't know why. I never put a hot candle in my tea, but anyhow, they put it inside the pumpkin. And so they all glowing in the front yard on them hay bales and card tables, them little mangled specimens that them kids carved up with them knives, look like they all need a carving class. I bet, you know, them kids, it's one thing to be able to draw something, it's another thing to be able to carve something. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a grown man, and it's hard carving a pumpkin. So them kids, you know, they did what they did, and it looked real festive. So let me just end on that before I sound like a grumpy old man that thinks I know what a carved pumpkin needs to look like. I'll say right now that these pumpkins was nice and festive. And with the lights in the middle, and it was dark, and they sitting on hay bales and card tables, boy, it was a real pretty sight. But then all the adults and everybody else, kiddos too, after the hayride headed to the backyard, and Cheryl Grubbs had that hot cider. You know Donut Goes serves hot cider. It was basically a seasonal thing a few years ago, and then they decided to keep it on the menu. And she got a possum off the roof of Donut Goes with that hot cider. Not because it was drinking the cup, because it got throat on it. You know, that'll get a possum to scatter, 100%. Kids got to take their pumpkins home with them, which was good. One of Delma's kiddos tried to take Maisley Grubbs because they liked it better. And that had to get all sorted out, and none of that's a surprise. Delma's kiddos, when it comes to manners, you know, you basically, you learn from the folks raising you. And if the folks raising you happens to do things like drop your baby teeth into the freezer section at Rickard's grocery store next to the ice cream, under the ice cream, because you telling your kids that that's where the tooth fairy lives, so drop your teeth there and you get free ice cream, then that's going to be a problem. And then that's, you know, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, or the tooth don't fall too far from your mother's head, or I don't know how the analogy goes, but I'm just telling you right now, Delma Spencer did that with her kids' baby teeth, and insult to injury for the public and the average citizen, she did get free ice cream. Kevin Rickard gave her a couple free gallons to ask her never to do that again. You don't know, I'm telling you, do not negotiate with folks dropping bloody teeth in the freezer section. Don't negotiate with them, but he did. And here's Delma's kids, you know, trying to steal Maisley's pumpkin, and that didn't happen. Millie Ricks got there late, and she showed up, though, to the little harvest party at the Dilroys, and she wanted to do bobbing for apples. So they got water in a little tub. She brought Possum Keith. I don't know if that surprised you or not, but Millie don't care. She don't think that possum rides in her Buick. It's got its own seatbelt. I don't think he uses it, but she does say that's Possum Keith's seatbelt right there. And she name it, she feed it, she take it to little harvest parties at the Dilroys in her Buick. I would call that your pet. But Millie Ricks says, "He ain't my pet. He's a wild animal. He can leave whenever he wants." And I kind of look at Possum Keith, and he look at me like, "Bank, bank," like, I don't know how to leave this place, Tabin. You know, he didn't say it with his possum mouth, but he looked at me in a way where I was thinking that's probably what he's thinking inside his head right now. So anyway, she brought apples too, so good on you, Millie. I mean, you didn't have a tub, and it was Chet and Gracie Dilroy's water, not like a bathtub in the house. It was a tub outside in the backyard where everybody was. But she did bring them apples, and they's in a plastic bag, so you know they ain't stuff she been nibbling on or Possum Keith's been sniffing on or nothing. Like, they's fully wrapped from the grocery store, so that was a surprise. Possum Keith did take nibbles out of a couple of them apples once they got dropped in the water. And it's like, hey, Millie, you watch your pet. And she goes, I don't have no pet. I didn't bring no pet. I'm like, what is he then, your brother? I mean, that's your possum. That's Possum Keith. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. We got to have this little back and forth ways every time. Get that possum out the water. He's got his little pointy possum snout in the bobbing for apple water. It's gross. People supposed to they're supposed to put their face in there and sink their teeth in one of them apples and get it out of that water. And now done Possum Keith, he christened the whole bobbing for apples tub with his little furry snout. Well, Luke Bryan Spencer dove right in there trying to get an apple right in that possum water. Gross. Get your kid, Delma. I mean, I was thinking they was going to take time to change out the water, but I guess everybody got caught up in the party spirit, and folks wanted to bob for apples fast enough or bad enough to just go right in there. Luke Bryan Spencer, I don't know that he knew the possum was in there. I don't know that he'd care. No, he just wanted to get after it. Gracie Dilroy ended up shutting down the whole bobbing for apples plan barely after it got started. Fine with me. I wasn't going to anticipate after the old Possum Keith interaction with the water anyhow. It got a little chaotic with the wild cards there, like Delma Spencer, her kiddos, Millie Ricks, of course, Possum Keith. I mean, that's a party. Don't get me wrong. That's a party. There ain't never going to be a dull moment, but there might be a restraining order, some sort of altercation with law enforcement at some point. Who knows if Possum Keith even wanted to be there, but I'm pretty sure by the look he gave me, he ain't got a lot of choices. Millie Ricks is just old and feeble, like, I'm just a little old victim. I ain't trying to keep anybody anywhere. Well, I think you might be holding two possums hostage at your house and naming them, Possum Keith and Baby Kevin. Well, I'll tell you this, they got a nice place to stay and they got plenty of food, so, I mean, she do take care of them. And the back seat of a Buick Century ain't a bad place to ride, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't know that Possum Keith love it. And that's the truth. Maybe he do. I don't speak possum. Kids had fun, though, and I guess that's how you judge them kind of events, right? You know, when parents is bringing their kids out and, you know, families is hanging out, did the kids come have a good time? I mean, that's why kids quit sports, stop piano lessons, all them things. Oh, they didn't like it no more. They growed out of it. They hated it. You know, parents make a lot of decisions based on if the kid likes something or not. And so if you're making the decision, was this a successful event? Well, the kids had a hoot of a time, so I guess it was. And nobody got hurt, so that's always a win too. Put it to you like that. Myron Curtis, on the other side of things, he got himself a karaoke machine. You know, he'd been saving up that bean dip money, you know, from being a snack delivery driver. And so we all went out, the fellas and friends, to fishing clips. You know, that's a bait and tackle shop Rance Barnhart owns. So we was out there by the lake, a little karaoke machine, had a little speaker out there, you got a little microphone, you get a little TV monitor, you set that thing up. And Rance is pretty handy. He got a little monitor out there, you know, in the bait and tackle store with the electronics. So anyhow, it all got set up. And we was outside on the patio. So it was outside, but, you know, you was up there on the patio. We weren't like, you know, feet in the water karaoke, and you don't want to get that thing too close. Myron don't have to be too close to the water to end up in it, because he'd somersault down it before. He'll fall and he'll roll, and he can't stop on account of gravity or anything like that. And it gets to be a mess pretty quick. But that's what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is he had it set up. So little karaoke out there. Cricket showed up after her shift at the nursing home, and she said they still playing in that nursing home fall festival. But either way, I got to be there. Because I know Dewey Morton, he going to want to escape. He's talking about wanting to get his face painted like a pumpkin. I'm like, buddy, he escape artist. If he painted like a pumpkin, he'll be trying to sneak out that nursing home in a pumpkin truck. And, you know, and you'll be looking at it, all them pumpkins in the truck, and you won't notice that his face is right there in the middle, bank, bank, like peekaboo, painted orange too, like another pumpkin. And then, Beer Gregory said she wanted to cut eye holes in a bed sheet and drape it over her in her wheelchair. And Doreen Fundle put a hard stop to that. Like, no, you ain't doing that. Captain Thunderboots, my pet goldfish, is afraid of ghosts. It's too spooky. You can't do that. So, buddy, I don't know what it's going to be, but I do know that I'm going to be there to make sure I see it all happen. But Cricket, anyhow, long story longer, she got done with her shift at the nursing home, and she came out to Fishing Clips. And then Justine Dunlap was there. And, her husband, Casey, he's taxidermy. Justine take photos. But she did that song by Usher called Yeah. Words is easy to remember. Yeah, 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 yeah. Boy, she got it. Boy, she was singing right into the microphone like that away. And people's kind of dancing and hollering back at her. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, I basically memorized it. I wouldn't call myself, like just a real sharp, like a prodigy or something like that. That ain't me, but I remember. And then Myron Curtis got up there, and there's an old song, it's a rap song called Bust a Move. Just bust a move. Well, Myron, he didn't know the words. And on karaoke, they put the words on the screen, but it don't matter if you can't read fast. Because if you can't read fast, you still ain't going to know the words. You ain't going to be able to do it fast enough kind of thing. And in rap songs, some of them get real fast. They get real quick, like the tempo upticks kind of thing. So he did that. And at the end of the day, nobody winning contests at karaoke. We just having fun. And Justine, Myron, You Lost That Loving Feeling. That's Mort Dwidell right there. He hit some high notes too. Not great, but he hit them. Good on you, Mort. And then Cricket, she did Islands in the Stream, Dolly Parton. So she did that. So everybody got a little thing. I was out there, and you know what I ended up doing from Chet Dilroy's? I just took a punkin. Gracie's like, we got extras. Take one if you want to, Tavin. So while everybody's karaokeing, I'm not saying I didn't do a little bit of singing, because I do like a little bit of Sweet Caroline. But then I also was over there at one of the tables on the patio carving a pumpkin helmet. Real good fit, y'all guys. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I do like to carve my own pumpkin, and I'm telling you, I carved a helmet. Not something you're going to sit on your front porch, something you're going to put on your noggin. Good protection too, but safety and style. You can really get after your fall events and that thing. So I was happy about that. And then Myron and Mary Beth, they did a duet on Cracklin' Rosie. Little Neil Diamond. You can't have a karaoke party without Neil Diamond showing up. I'll tell you that right now. So it was a hoot of a time. Great time. Myron already got his money's worth out of that karaoke machine. But, sometimes you save your money, you work hard, and you got an idea, and then you buy something, you're like, buddy, I could have spent that on something else. Nope, no regrets. Everybody in the town right now, all us buddies, we happy he did it. Great kickoff to the harvest season, y'all guys. Great kickoff. And I hope your pumpkin helmets turns out good too, y'all guys. As you get them, feel free to email me, tabandiller@gmail.com, or tag me in your photos. Let me know how functional and practical and stylish your pumpkin helmets are this season. Check out them show notes. We done talked about it. So I'll remember to put the tickets to my shows. October 19th is Pickle Boonin' around the corner. I hope to see you in Nashville, y'all guys. And if not, check out them other cities. But get your tickets soon so you got them. And that helps us know who's going to be there. And, we want to plan for you, make sure everything's going to be right for you. So check them out. My Venmo's down there, and so is my email, y'all guys. Appreciate you being here. Happy harvest season. It's going to be a hoot, and I'm glad you hanging out with me. Oh, and hey, if you didn't stick your face in some possum water out at Chet and Gracie Dilroy's unofficial harvest party this week trying to bob for an apple, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is a Tavin Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.